salvete discipuli. Today we are going to review third conjugation verbs. So yesterday you guys reviewed first and second conjugation verbs, today third, and then of course over the weekend you guys are going to do, or at least the next assignment is going to be third IO and fourth conjugation verbs. We don't want to necessarily go through all of that sort of initial information that we did in the video yesterday. Instead, let's just go ahead and remind ourselves what makes a verb third conjugation. It is when the second principal part ends in an ERE without a macron. So all ERE without the macron verbs in their second principal part, third conjugation verbs, okay? Now, the important difference between first, second conjugation verbs and third conjugation verbs is how it forms the present stem, okay? For a first, second conjugation verb, you form the present stem by removing the RE from the second principal part, but for a third conjugation verb, you remove the entire ERE. So when you want to get the present stem, you have to remove the entire ERE from the second principal part, which means that the present stem for ago, agere is just going to be ag. There's no vowel on the end of the present stem. This means that you need to provide the vowel that's going to tell us whether that verb is in the present or in the future. Okay, so let's just take a look. All right. So here is a review of ago, agere, agi, actum in the active, so present, imperfect, future, perfect, pluperfect, future perfect. For the first person singular, present, active, indicative, of course that's the first principal part, ago. After that you have your present stem, and it is the I that tells you that this verb, this third conjugation verb, is in the present, okay? In the second and third singular, first and second plural, it is a you in the third person plural, present, active, indicative, okay? If you want to then show this verb to be future, you change the O to an okay, so agam, I will drive, and then you change the I present vowel to the E future vowel, okay? So a gis is you drive, but a gaze is you will drive, okay? A get is she drives, but a get is she will drive, right? A gimus, we drive. A gamus, we will drive. A gitis, y'all drive. A gatus, y'all will drive. A gunt, they drive. A gent, they will drive, okay? And again, I want you to be very, very detailed when you write down these notes, because I want you to remember the differences between, say, a first, second conjugation verb and now the third. The very nice thing about the perfect system is that it works the same way for all verbs all the time. So if you know how to form the perfect active, pluperfect active, future perfect active, perfect passive, pluperfect passive, future perfect passive, for the first two conjugations, you know how to do them for all the conjugations, okay? So again, you get your perfect active stem, which is the third principal part minus the I, which is ag, and then you add the E, isti, it, emis, istis, arunt, aram, arasarat, aramus, rasrant, aro, risaret, aramus, rasrant. Straightforward. This next slide has all the passives, the passive for all 6 tenses in the indicative. And again, the first person singular is the first principal part plus R, and then after that, for the most part, you form the present passive the same way you'd form the present active. Let's look at the third person singular. That's this right here. Here, I'll go ahead and highlight it for us. The third person singular present passive is our present stem plus the I to tell us that we're in the present, plus the passive personal ending ter, right? Arvis, ter, mer, mini, and ter. Agemer, agimini, aguntor, all what you expect. The only thing that you need to be careful with for a third conjugation, present passive indicative is the second person singular. This is an E without the macron. That is so important because the only difference between the second person singular present passive indicative for the third conjugation and the second person singular future passive indicative is that macron. So this is a very important macron. Ageris, you are driven. Ageris, you will be driven, okay? Otherwise, the imperfect passive and the future passive form exactly how you would expect, okay? So just be careful of the second person singular present passive, the second person singular future passive indicative. Perfect passive forms the exact same way as it does for the first two conjugations, so no problems there. The last thing I want to draw your attention to is how to form, or I suppose there's two more things I want to draw your attention to. Present active infinitive, as always, second principal part. Present passive infinitive is the second principal part. You remove, here, let me get to my pen. You remove the entire ERE and replace it with an I, and that is how you get the present passive infinitive. So agere, to drive, agi, to be driven. The present imperative, singular, is going to be the present stem, ag, plus E. Plural is present stem, ag, plus ite. And I just want to remind you about the 4 irregular singular imperatives from facio, duco, dico, and pharaoh. They are, instead of being fake, or duke, or dike, or fera, they're fak, duke, deek, and fair. Okay? All right. I will see you tomorrow in class. Take very good notes and have a wonderful evening.